Okay, welcome back. Doesn't look like we've done a lot, but we actually have. We've got ourselves a roller, a runner. Got our gear back there, got our guide flag, just a mock up with the axles, wheels, and tires, and a quick road test. So let's see just how we got here. Since we have this here, do something on the fly, we'll do a drop arm guide. Some people say they make a difference. I don't know. It's a good old argument like what's the best tire, etc., so forth. But I think I'm going to put one in here. I'm going to use the 8150 square brass tube from K&S, and then I'm going to use a number 504 steel rod to go inside. So let's measure, cut that, make it happen. And there we go. I measured and cut the square tubing so they just sit right inside the rails here to limit side by side, and then the piano wire through there, and then just carefully solder it on each end. Let's take a closer look. Well, not bad. Nice free motion. That'll work just fine. Now, we're going to add a little rod right here just as a limiter, so we'll get to that next. Okay, different approaches to this, but I went with the number 5161 3/64th brass rod. We really don't need anything heavy here. We want something that's easy to bend so that we can adjust it. So that's what I did. I just measured, cut it, held it in place with the needle nose pliers, and soldered it. And we have pretty good movement. We're starting out, I don't know, 3/32. All we can do is test on the track. But if you want more or less, that's why this is just easy to bend here, and you can increase, decrease the travel. So, like I said, all we can do is test. And speaking of that, I think we're really, really close to doing that very thing. So stick around. When it comes to these types of guide flags, I like to use the direct solder method with my wires. As you can see on the tops, I've tinned it first with a little bit of solder, then I tin my wire, then just set it right here, just a quick touch of the iron, and we are good to go. So before we cut the tubing out here to make room for the crown gear, I decided to increase the strength on the outer tubes here just a little bit. I just figured, better safe than sorry. I didn't want to interfere with the bumper assembly we have to make and then the suspension linkage, but I just wanted a little bit. So I just used the 503, did some 90 degrees here, just right there on the outer edge. And again, on this side, just a little bit goes a long way though, especially when you're using the piano wire. And there we have it. Got the lead wires hooked up to our motor, Predator 17.5. I'm going with the 9:27 gear ratio. Just basically simple. That's what I always do for our oval. Then you can always experiment, go up a tooth, down a tooth, etc., so forth. But I think 9:27 will be just fine. Paul gauge tires, and of course, like I said, well, this is just a mock-up, so it's still in the it's still in the setup axles and everything. But I think it's looking pretty good, and the amount of travel we have, yeah, that's plenty to get us started. I think that'll be just fine. So let's see how it goes. All right, track set at 12 volts. Haven't trued the tires yet. This is just a mock-up. There's a little chatter there, but hey, there it is. Sing it with me. She's a roller. It's a running. And a high roller, because it is kind of high. That's the way the real cars work. Yeah, not bad. Yeah. Still have our finish work to do, our bumpers, our suspension pieces. I doubt if I make them look as good as other folks out there, Dave, George, Mark, Lee, all the other people building, Robert. I'm not in that modeling league, but at least we got one that runs. We can build on it from there. All right. Well, I hope this part of the series helped you, motivated you. Look forward to your feedback online and hope that you do the same. I'd like to see you join in the fun because I think you'd have a blast with these cars.